everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm your host, Sergeant John Bryan, Public Information Officer of the Indiana State Police Indianapolis District. Roadshow is brought to you each and every week by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the State Police Alliance. For more information about our sponsor, you can visit them at www.indianasfinest.com. We want to thank our good friend Tom Trial for making us look so good each and every week on the YouTube channel. He's got all these cameras and lights, and he somehow just puts it all together and makes us look pretty. And we also want to thank our friends at WIBC, MS Communications, of course, BK, Brendan King, for putting us on the radio waves each and every week. We want to thank them for their partnership.
Yes, absolutely.
So our guest today, familiar face with us, Captain Ron Galvez, Chief PIO of State Police.
John, thanks for having me.
Always an honor
to see you.
to be in your presence. I'm good.
Yeah, and like you always say, the varsity and the JV. So
I think you got that backwards though. Right?
No.
Right. And of course, coming down to us from Boone County, Indiana, is Deputy Wes Garst. Deputy Garst, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us. We appreciate it.
You wear a lot of hats up at Boone County, but one of those that intersects with my work is you're the PIO up there as well.
I am, sir. Been doing it for about 3 years now.
Yeah, so how are you liking it?
I love it. I love being able to go that extra step to make contact with the public more so than what we do than just being on the road. Yeah,
and it can be a lot of fun and really rewarding to be that liaison, for lack of a better word, between the public and the police, and you're kind of that person in the middle.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience. You're kind of running around doing everything that the sheriff wants you to do, dealing with the media, and it's a fun experience. I've got to do a lot of unique things.
Yeah, and Sheriff Mike Nielsen up there in Boone County does a lot of great things, and that department is very well ran. But you're not only a PIO, right? You also patrol the road and do so many other things for the department as well.
Yes, sir.
And so something really cool that you're planning, for those that don't know, in 2021, National Police Week was postponed, and it's going to happen in October. And that is a huge ceremony that happens in Washington, D.C. every year where they add, unfortunately, the new names of law enforcement officers that were killed in line of duty to the memorial. You've had the honor of being there present when Deputy Pickett's name was added. But you are going to, on October 11th, kind of put together a big celebration, let's call it, memorial service for not only Deputy Pickett, but other officers that were killed in line of duty.
That is correct. So we have 4 individuals that passed away in line of duty in our county over the years, 2 which are state police and 2 are county.
Yeah.
So starting at 6 p.m. on the 11th is when we'll do we're going to call a meet and greet. That is all law enforcement agencies within Boone County. They will be there for you to come down as the public to meet and greet with them. There'll be free refreshments. They'll take pictures with you. They'll give you balloons. They'll have this, that, and the other.
Kind of just a fun community event. Most people are familiar with like the National Night Out, but
right.
Although it's a memorial service, which is often a somber experience, you want this to be more like a celebration, not just for law enforcement, but for the entire Boone County community.
Right, because what's most important that we're really emphasizing is unity. And like I said, we're going to have all the Boone County law enforcement agencies there, to include the Indiana State Police and to include DNR, the State Fire Marshal's Office, and so on. And then also we want to make sure that the public is very much involved with this as well.
Now, Captain, talk about the importance of events like this, because every year the Indiana State Police, we have our memorial services, we attend other agencies' memorial services. It's just really, really important that we remember those that gave the ultimate sacrifice.
You're exactly right. And, for an agency that has 47 names added to our own list throughout the state, it provides an opportunity, and you'll find this out, that to really educate the public on what it is that the men and women in our profession do every day, whether they're wearing a brown uniform, blue uniform, green, whatever. We're still out there all doing the same thing for the same reason, and that's for the benefit and the safety and the well-being of those that we've been asked to serve, or that in many respects that we've all volunteered. We all came forward and filled out those applications, went through the academy. So fantastic opportunity. The public will be so beyond appreciative. I think the level of support you'll find will be really pretty awe-inspiring, and it will give you that extra oomph the next day when you go to work, saying we know that we're appreciated. But that's not what it's about, because obviously you're also honoring those individuals that that made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty, and that is the most that we can ask of anybody, and we hope that we never have to. Superintendent Carter always says, we're willing to lay down our lives for people that just don't like us every day. And,
That's correct.
And those 4 individuals, have done that. Unfortunately, many more since then. But again, at the end of the day, the public has an opportunity to see and to shake hands and to meet people that may one day have to come to their house to answer a call.
Yeah. And we'll always answer that call,
Absolutely.
regardless of how they feel about us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so these memorial services, they're a big deal, and our honor guards participate. I know you're going to have a multi-agency honor guard involved. You're going to have some guest speakers to include Superintendent Carter.
Correct.
I'm sure Sheriff Nielsen will have some things to say. Mm-hmm. I always enjoy hearing them speak because it's motivational.
It is.
And one of my favorite things that I saw in Washington, D.C. on the memorial, and it's a quote that I often refer to, is enshrined right there on the memorial. It says, "It's not how these officers died that makes them heroes. It's how they lived." And that's what these memorial services are about. It's celebrating the way they lived their lives. They selflessly served their communities. They gave up their holidays, their weekends, their time with their family so that they could answer those calls.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of them also served their country as a member of one of the armed forces, and they may have been coaches. They may have, sat on a seat, in a small community board. Yeah, thank you. And so, or committees, or these other things that are maybe law enforcement related, but also to help make their communities better. Again, in their off duty time. So, they're well-rounded individuals, and they're true heroes in every sense of the word, because they weren't just law enforcement. They were individuals that woke up every day with a purpose.
So Deputy Garsh, tell us about what kind of brought you to this idea that you want to do it big this year. You want to have, because it's not a specific anniversary. We talked about Deputy Pickett, who was killed in 2018 in Boone County, and that was one of your coworkers, of course, one of your friends. But you just said our community needs this.
It does. When Deputy Pickett passed, we seen the outcry and the support from the community, and that was very awe-inspiring. But I was approached to take part in this event this year, and we've done it in the past. We usually did it around noon, but I thought it was very important that we got the community involved. That is the most important thing that I think is about this event. Obviously we're going to be there as law enforcement, but we want to connect with the community. To kind of go back on a little bit what you guys were talking about, I think it's important that the community sees us not only as authority figures, but as human beings ourselves, because we are, right? But it was very important that we progress and make it bigger and better than in years past, not taking anything away from years past, because it's always been special. Tom Melville used to work for you gentlemen. He was the one that handled that back then. Mm-hmm. So he passed the torch to me, and I love that guy. Yeah. But anyway, but this year we're going to incorporate some new things. It's in the evening. The ceremony portion starts at 7 p.m. So that's about when the sun starts going down. We'll do a candlelight visual during the ceremony, which is going to be really cool, because at Police Week, I'm sure you guys got to see that. That was really cool to see that. So we're hoping we can make that the courthouse square, light up with some candles. Yeah. But also during that time, we're doing without getting too far into it, because we're kind of trying to keep some of it a surprise, a light presentation that will incorporate police lights and this, that, and the other. The courthouse itself will be turned blue. Cool. But there'll be some more, so we'll just keep some of that a secret.
And what I think you've found during the planning process of this is members of your community, businesses, they want to help, right? And sometimes they don't know how to help, but when you come to them and say, "This is what I'm doing and this is what I need," they step up to the plate.
Yeah, I wish I'd have brought my list, because I believe there's 24 names on that list from the community businesses that have stepped up and donated to this event. And that is so cool that they would do that for us. I mean, from the small mom and pop shops all the way up to the bigger corporations like Kroger, for example. Yeah. They've stepped up to help us and donated things to this event. So not really much cost to the taxpayers has been put on this.
That's great. And again, it's free to attend. You're not going to be, asking people for any type of hey, you got to pay to do this, you got to pay to this. You just
Definitely
show up.
not.
It's a great opportunity to not only interact with the Boone County Sheriff's Office and the state police, but the other Boone County police agencies are going to be present as well. Whitestown, Zionsville,
Correct.
Lebanon.
Right. Advance, Thorntown, and Jamestown.
Yeah. So lots. And really a cool opportunity to just kind of get to know your local law enforcement officers, because those relationships become so valuable later on down the road when things are needed to be done.
Right.
National Police Week is always kind of a somber time, and it was unfortunate that it had to be moved. But, I think it is a priority to get it in. But all of us have attended that. All three of us have attended that ceremony in Washington, D.C. at different times. For me, it was in 2005 when Trooper Scott Patrick's name was added to the wall, and he was a trooper that I worked with up at Lowell. But you're right, I've never experienced such a feeling of camaraderie and pride and just all these emotions when you're standing there in a sea of thousands of police officers holding a candle in the air. It's really cool.
It's really cool. On my end of things, not only did I do PIO things while I was there, but I also am one of our honor guard members. So I got to go a little further into things. And for that candlelight vigil, for example, the honor guards get to lead in the fallen family members. Yeah. And that's such an honor. It really sends shivers down your spine just thinking about it.
And I've been fortunate enough to get to know some of our survivors, that we call them, and they're the spouses and the families of those who were paid the ultimate sacrifice. And I think these events are really important for them too. Just not just because we want them to know that we'll never forget, because that goes without saying, but we're a family, and they're still part of our family. We want them to feel that.
I was going to say that, the minute that and we talked about that, being married to police officer, we had a conversation, offline a little while ago, but that's how it is. Once they come in, they're here forever. They are part of our family, our extended family. And same thing, coming from Fort Wayne after 25 years, had an opportunity to still communicate with surviving family members from up there. And, there really is no greater honor, because you see it in their eyes, you see it in how they carry themselves, the pride that they have still being affiliated with the state police. And it means, and the Boone County Sheriff's Department, Marion County, IMPD, or whoever it is, that's a source of pride. And they wear that, and they wear it very well.
Yeah, and I can remember back to Deputy Pickett's funeral and his services and the memorials and all that, and the way that Lebanon community and that Boone County community came together. I mean, there's just nothing else like it, and words can't explain what it feels like to be driving in that procession as a police officer with one of the 500 other police officers, and just see the people that are standing there for hours, just to wave and show their support, and it just means so much.
Unfortunately, in my short time, I've been around this for about 15 years now. I've attended 3 line of duty deaths. Carl Kuntz, of course, Jacob Pickett, Mitch Russell. He was a police chief up in Arcadia, and worked for the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office. And you were talking about how awe-inspiring those events are when people come together to grieve and celebrate their loved one. Even the off-duty ones for police officers are very awe-inspiring to see all those people come together. Yeah. So it's something to see, and we're going to try to incorporate some of that as well.
Yeah. Well, you've been tuned into the Indiana State Police Roadshow, and our guests, Captain Ron Galavez and Deputy Wes Garst from the Boone County Sheriff's Office, came in to talk about an event they're happening. That's October 11th, the Boone County Square in Lebanon, or
Courthouse Square
in Lebanon, Indiana, 6 p.m. Everybody from the community is invited. Come on out.
Correct.
There's going to be police giveaway stickers, whatever the police officers typically give away at a fair or carnival is going to be available. Interaction with kids, pictures, and then a really, really cool ceremony I expect to occur at 7 o'clock.
Yeah. Come on down.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Indiana State Police Roadshow, brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance. For more information about our sponsor, you can visit them at www.indianasfinest.com. I also want to mention the Indiana State Police and Indiana Capitol Police are currently hiring for Capitol Police officers. You can visit our website. Do that search for Capitol Police officers. They are sworn law enforcement academy trained police officer positions that we were looking for, and those positions close here real shortly. So if you think you're interested or you know somebody that's interested, check it out.